Welcome back to the Art Room. Mrs. Larrabee here. This week we're going to be drawing a chopper, designing our own, in honor of our interview with chopper designer Rick Wahlberg. If you haven't had time, go back and listen to that interview and then grab a sheet of paper. You'll need paper, pencil, and your coloring supply. A black marker would be great too. And we'll get started designing our own chopper. Hopefully you've had a chance to listen to Mr. Wahlberg's interview. It was really neat to hear him talk about design and how he approaches design and how he considers it. And one of the things that came up several times in the interview was not to rush, that he was willing to sit with a design, to think through a design as he needed. So today we're going to practice that together. We're going to be doing a directed draw. That means that I'll be drawing through the steps with you. We'll be designing our own motorcycle. And you'll have a chance before the end to do a little personalizing on your own. This week, I think it'll be easier if we go with half a sheet of paper. So I'm going to have you take your sheet of paper and fold it in half. You're definitely going to want a pencil that has an eraser on it this week. We're going to be doing a little erasing as we go. All right, and the first thing we're going to do to get started, we're going to go up about 2 fingers. 2 or 3. We're going to draw just a light line. We're going to be erasing this in a little while. It's not going to be a part of the body of the motorcycle. It's just a line for us as we're getting started. I'm going to make mine a little darker so you can see it, but keep yours light. We're going to start on the front with our front wheel. We're going to draw a small circle and a larger circle, a third circle, and a fourth. All right, we'll come back and perfect those parts of our wheel. I'm going to use a note card as a straight edge. If you have a ruler handy, that'd be great. You can freehand this too. I'm going to go about 45 degrees up. And I'm going to draw 2 parallel lines. That means that they are the same distance apart, like railroad tracks. This is going to be the fork, the start of our handlebars. And then we're going to draw, again, we're going to go down just a little bit from the top. We're going to draw parallel lines again, whoops, towards the back of our motorcycle. We're going to come all the way down to this line, and we're going to draw, again, our back wheel now. So small circle. We're going to get larger. It's okay if we go over some of these lines. We're going to come back and erase in just a minute. So 4 circles. Sometimes we kind of have to sketch them in, decide which line we like the best, and we can erase and edit out all the others that we don't like. Okay, while you're erasing, go ahead and erase this line in the middle. That was just to help us know where to start and stop so our tires lined up together. Okay, we're going to come in and we're going to start adding these bottom parts to the frame of our bike. So I'm going to go ahead and add this down. We're going to go from the center down at an angle, just past the tire. And then we're going to go straight from there. So as straight as we can to about halfway on our motorcycle. And then we're going to take this and attach it to the top. I'm going to go kind of close to where my original lines were. I'm going to go just below that. And again, parallel lines. All right, we've got the frame of our motorcycle going now. Now we get to add in some of the details. I'm going to start with my wheels. Let's get those a little more rounded. Sometimes I have to turn my paper different directions to kind of help me get my shapes a little better. We're going to add the fenders. That's the metal part that kind of protects the tires here. So wherever you want your fender to go, you're going to erase first. So I have mine kind of on the top half of my back tire. So I'm going to go over and erase that part. And I'm going to add the line for my fender. I'm going to make mine really big on this one, kind of exaggerate them. They're pretty small on my other. All right, and as you go, it's always good to erase these extra lines. It just starts to make things make sense. And the same for our front tire. So again, we're going to have a section that protects our bike. I'm going to switch out for this one. This one's a little more realistic drawing. So I'm going to erase where I want my fender to go. And add a curved line. So it's going to look almost like the tire, but it's going to be a little larger. We don't want it rubbing up against the tire while we're driving. That probably wouldn't go so well. All right, so we have our tires and our fenders. Let's go in and let's add our seat. So we have a seat kind of hiding right here on the frame and the back fender. This is where you can start to have fun. You could make this way bigger, higher, a different shape altogether. Here's the seat on mine. And then we could make a curved line going up. This is the gas tank. On Mr. Wahlberg's bikes, he made more of this oval shape, and he talked about in the video the flow of the bike and how it goes down. You could leave it like this, or you could bring it down and finish your oval. And just erase this line in the middle. That won't be seen. Okay. Just up from our handlebars, we're going to have a light. And I just drew a box. So I started with kind of a rectangular box and some diagonal lines going from that, and then a curved line for the front of my light. And the handlebars, I'll show on this one, I just brought a straight or a diagonal line down. And those may be a little low. I think if we were sitting on the bike, we might want them to go up just a little higher. This is where your design comes in. You can make some crazy handlebars if you wanted. How would you like for your bike to look? All right, and now we're going to do the engine and some of these inner parts. Now, I don't know the names of everything. Some of you out there probably do. We're going to go with shapes. So I'm going to start with a circle here in the bottom corner. I'm going to go back to this reference picture again. And then I'm going to make a V that sits on top of that. This is part of the engine. And the engine needs to connect to have some fuel going in, so we'll have a fuel line. Up near the top, we're going to have another circle. And then some more machine parts down here. There'll be some different pipes connecting things. I'm going to have this one just overlap here. I'm sure it has an important job to do. And remember, you can always go back and erase the lines that you intersect so it looks like that's now in the right place. And I'll just choose a few other places here. Maybe I'll want to darken in some of my engine. All right, and the last thing, we need somewhere for our feet to go. All right, using shapes and angles, we were able to design a bike, draw it out. All right, the next step would be to go in and blacken everything in. If you have a marker, go with your marker. If not, use your black coloring supply. And there we have it. We have our chopper all inked in. You get to add your color. You can decide if you want flames, if you want a different pattern on it. Maybe you want to add some more design. You can decide what kind of spokes you're going to have on your wheels. You can decide, maybe you have some more details for your engine that you could add in. Something different you want to do with your handlebars. Maybe even the body you want to change up some. I can't wait to see what you guys design. And I'll see you back here next week in the art room.